The only black coach I know about that's been with two. I know it's been Eric Bieniemy, which he should get a job. I've been lobbying for him for a long time when he was just a running backs coach, and old Cincinnati coach Marvin Lewis. Yeah. Other than that, who else have you heard that been black that's been
considered?
Yeah,
just this year.
Okay.
Or
has Bieniemy even been considered? He hasn't even been considered.
He's already interviewed.
Well, he interviewed with the Giants
and the Browns.
Yeah. I don't know where else he may have interviewed.
The San Francisco's defensive coordinator, isn't he black or is he mixed? I mean, it wouldn't matter if he's mixed.
Right.
He's a minority, right?
Yeah. Did he? I don't know if he.
I don't know, but he's
maybe
still
he can't
he's still
he's
playing
coaching,
football, so he can't.
But either or, this Rooney Rule was put in to solve that problem, right? And I'm not gonna lie. I think when Mr. Rooney put it in, I think Mr. Rooney had great intentions, and he thought it was going to help. But I don't know. Lately, I don't know. I'll ask you: do you think it's effective? At least right now.
No. I mean, it's not. It's so you have to interview him.
Right.
Okay. All right. I can interview him. That's no problem. I don't have to hire him. So it's
affirmative action. That's what it is.
I mean, not even to the fullest because you had to hire with the
right,
affirmative action.
Yeah, right.
I mean, there are some times where it looked like teams were just bringing someone in just to get it out of the way because they already knew who they wanted to get, and they could. On Rick's show last night, I said that sometimes it may be like the janitor. They're going to interview the janitor for the head coaching job because he's black.
Out the way. It's this, right? So the guy Rule, right? He just got the Panthers job.
Matt Rule.
Yeah. I mean, who he deserve it? I don't know. He's coming from the coaches the NCAA ranks. He did pretty good over his coaching career, but there are other coaches out there. Even the guy that went to the Giants, he's the wide receivers coach.
Talking about Judge Joe Brown?
Yeah, dude, are you kidding? The wide receiver coach?
Hey man, get off Judge
special
Joe Brown.
Teams coach.
Right. So he's the special teams coach and the wide receiver coach. Like that don't even happen like that in the NFL, right? And so, but what I also heard was that as far as NFL assistant coach, they get like an A+ because they hire a lot of black coaches. So it's like this: you can wait the table, but you can't be the host, or you know what I mean. You can do certain things, but you can't be the face of the team or whatever the case may be. And it's sickness. So it's definitely not effective. So what makes it worse is that this is not new. Every season, every time it's talking about hiring, we're going into hiring, we have to talk about the Rooney Rule, right? Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
I think I didn't like it at first because I felt like I looked at it another way. When they first entered it, like I said, I know Mr. Rooney meant well when he put this in, but the first thing I thought of was, so like you said, now Muggs is going to be hiring people they're going to hire people just to say, okay, we hired them, okay, move. So what if I already have a candidate I want anyway? I'm saying, so that's wrong already towards the teams. But then for like the assistant coaches, the black coaches or minorities getting in, you thinking you about to get in? I'm good. Like for instance, I remember one time, long time ago, my wife works for the government, so I was like, I'm gonna apply for the government. I'm sending all these jobs. 100,000, I'm good job. Not knowing I wasn't even qualified for it, but it was there for me to apply.
Right.
That's what is going on with them. Like these coaches are going in. Some of them know they're not gonna get hired.
They say it. They say it. They know that they're not.
And the rules brought in as protecting, like you said, like when Tony Dungy was fired, after a winning season. And then Dennis Green was also fired, and it was his first losing season in 10 years. So it was like, strike one, you're out.
Right.
So it was to kind of protect from that to where kind of give the minority coaches also a little bit of job security. But because one thing I've heard that's been brought up is that with trends in what teams want in their coach based on a coaching tree or what they're trying to make better, that's what can keep minorities from getting hired. Like last year, we talked about how, if you touch the hem of Sean McVay's garment, you could be a head coach somewhere. That's how Zach Taylor got his job.
Right.
And this year, and then the year before, it was Andy Reid, except for Eric Bieniemy, but Doug Peterson, previously, and Matt Nagy came from the Andy Reid tree. And this year, I think it's going back to Belichick because we hear Josh McDaniels again. We hear, and then Joe Judge came out of nowhere to be a head coach. So now it's back to that tree. But teams are also looking for offensive coordinators, and there are very few black offensive coordinators. I know 3.
But Belichick,
Bieniemy, Caldwell, and Pep Hamilton.
Belichick's tree hasn't even been successful though.
Leftwich too. So
it's like crazy. Belichick's coaching tree has not been successful like that. It hasn't been great. Now, Andy Reid, definitely, you really can't argue with that. You know what I mean?
That's why you was hoping that Bieniemy, you thought Bieniemy would get it.
Right.
Yeah, you feel like it's just a matter of time with
Because
Bieniemy.
I think Nagy only had 1 year of being an offensive coordinator.
No, he had only called plays for like 6 games.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
But even Leftwich, right? Look at the numbers that Jameis Winston put up. So imagine.
I mean, you're not going to blame him for James's decision.
Right.
No,
But they might. We're like, no, see, he also did 30 interceptions.
Right, but if you take away 15 of his interceptions that were bonehead plays, right, or actually probably 26 of his 30 interceptions were bonehead plays, then you're looking at somebody who threw maybe 40 touchdowns for 6,000 yards, right? Like, just imagine what it could have been. And then that's a look of the offensive coordinator.
Right.
Like, it's ridiculous, man.
So how do you think that the NFL could fix? I mean, we know them, but how do you think it could be fixed? Like what?
You can't. Unfortunately, you can't. It's the ownership.
Right.
It's ownership. It's still that older white man in control type of thing, right? Like they can do what they want to do. You know what I mean? Like that's just what it is. It still goes back to the, how many black quarterbacks. You know what I mean? How many? Like that's just what you gonna make somebody sell their team? You can't make nobody hire who you want them to.
Right.
Like there's no way you can.
Do you? Because like I said, Josh McDaniels, I get. He's been a coach. Everybody want him. He's done a Belichick. If you want a Belichick, you get a chance because even though they hadn't been successful, it's been a lot of. Because
Josh wasn't
coaches.
even good the year. Wasn't he a coach for what, 1 year?
Denver.
In Denver, 2 years.
But he messed that up because
he drafted Tebow. He drafted Tebow.
Well, remember, but what he was trying to get was, he was trying to get what's my guy name that went to Kansas City, who was I can't think of the quarterback. He took over for Tom Brady when he got hurt.
Oh, Castle.
And that didn't work. And he traded Cutler.
He traded Cutler and Marshall.
Yep. Right. But that didn't work. So he was doomed from the beginning. Now, the thing is though, like I said, Judge Joe Brown, I don't see why I know you're a wide receivers coach, but come on, dog.
And you see the contracts that they're getting, like 7 year and 6 year, they're like, dude.
Because, I mean, think about it. It might have worked. Because I'm wondering now, did it ever work for the league? I mean, at one point, I think of Anthony Lynn. What's your boy that coached at Denver Broncos?
Vance Joseph.
What they gave him 2 years?
He got 2 years.
And what was there? Wilkes?
He got one.
He got one, which I think was disrespectful, but I think we've talked about that. Like they wanted, because of Kyler Murray coming out, they wanted the coach to be able to do that. I think that's what the biggest thing was with getting rid of him, I guess. But I feel like that was completely disrespectful. First off, you didn't set him up for success. His offensive line was the worst offensive line in the world.
They brought in Sam Bradford, who immediately got hurt.
And who don't have no knees. He is the biggest robber in the history of the NFL. How you don't have knee joints and you still getting $20 million a year guaranteed contracts? Have you seen his contract? Like, like it is ridiculous. So you give him that. David Johnson was hurt the entire year. So I mean, how many games you think I'm gonna win?
Right. Yeah. It's messed up. Best believe at the Super Bowl. Questions will be
not
will
just
be
questions being
asked.
asked, right? But nobody is standing up for it in
No,
the true
we
fashion,
gonna
right?
see,
The
but-
NFLPA isn't standing up how they should. Like
Well, the NFLPA wouldn't.
I mean, I get it because it's just for
yeah,
for players,
they
but
can't-
just like this needs to be like I don't know.
Again,
Like, what are you gonna do?
this year, it will be a topic for me at
Right.
the Super Bowl. Just trust me. We will get some
I
answers.
mean,
brother.
Belichick ain't there, so you may get an answer.
Right.
Like, depending on who you ask, right?
Right. But yes, it's messed up, man.